Phoenix Suns come back from a 20-point deficit to win their first game of the season against the Sacramento Kings. A first NBA game for new head coach Jordan Ott and a first win. But how did the Suns allow the Kings to go up by 20 and then turn it around to win it? In this video, we will analyse how the Suns won their first game of the season. The Suns went with a Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Dillon Brooks, Dunn and also Iguodala starting five. Quite similar to what we saw in pre-season. And whilst the Suns had a first few good minutes with bucket from also Iguodala to open the scoring and a good defensive possession from Dillon Brooks. I mean, just look at this against DeMar DeRozan. It quickly went against them. And the big reason was that Zach LaVine, Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan, they found their rhythm and they found their spots. So let's analyze a few clips and see where the Kings done well and where the Suns actually fell short. So the Kings knew coming out that Dunn and Brooks were always going to be the best defenders, so they targeted the likes of Booker, Allen and Gillespie, which gave them good looks. The first one, from an inbound, Booker does poor losing LaVine. LaVine gets the ball from Renard and drives towards the free throw line. As he drives towards the free throw line, Brooks realizes this and comes over to help. LaVine has Monk wide open who hits the free, and this sets the tone for the rest of the half. And not only Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan got hot, and a large part of it was due to his work in the mid-range, which we all know about. Nigel Hayes-Davis in this scenario isn't able to get over the screen from Keon Ellis, which gives DeRozan a favourable matchup. He backs up into Colin Gillespie, he gets into his spot and he gets the easy two. And this kept on happening throughout the first half, whether it was Malik Monk, whether it was Zach LaVine or whether it was DeMar DeRozan. Here's DeRozan again with another example. Monk gets the screen from Cardwell. Richards switches with Hayes-Davis and closes Monk on the perimeter. Allen realizes Cardwell has a free run to the paint, so he tries to read ahead and intercept a potential pass that may come through. As a result, he leaves DeRozan open, who goes to his spot, creates separation and gets the two. Poor switching, poor communication and not being able to fight over the screen really hurt the Suns early on, and it kept on happening. Allen and Collins switch, there's an off-ball screen from Cardwell on Royce who can't get around it. This leaves DeRozan free. Westbrook has a sprint on Allen and draws the and one from Nick Richards. You can see the intent from the Kings. It was to get Colin Gillespie, it was to get Grayson Allen, you know, on the mismatch. And after, when you get the ball to the likes of DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, I mean, these guys can score buckets, and that's what they did all throughout the first half. And Dunn is a player that I like a lot, but there's times like this where he needs to understand his role. And in this scenario, he tries to get a steal on Schroeder. There's an easy inbound pass to DeRozan, and he gets an easy bucket because he has a mismatch with Colin Gillespie. However, in the first half, the Sun did show glimpses. Dunn with a nice pocket pass to Williams. I mean, you can see that Dunn is evolving. He's getting better. His game is maturing. And in his head, is slowing down as well, which is a big example of the game improving. And another big success of the Suns' first half, although it didn't lead to many points on the scoreboard, was their offensive rebounding. I mean, let's look at the stats. The Suns were shooting just below 40% from the field and 17% from free, whereas the Kings were shooting 64% from the field and 53% from free. The only positive really was the Suns rebounding. Now, coming out into the second half, Grayson hits a big three. It don't do much to the score at this point, but it sets a precedent for the rest of the game. You can't leave Grayson wide open, and that the Suns in general are going to be coming out of this half fighting a lot more, hitting shots, making buckets. And we saw it not only from Grayson but from Booker too. And in the second half, he realizes there's space for him to drive, to get a layup, which results in an easy bucket. And it weren't only Booker who was aggressive, but the whole team was, and we'll see more clips as we go on. After all, getting all those offensive boards in the first half, this one finally resulted in a big three to cut the lead down to 5. But just look at the players scrambling to get the board once Collins shoots. Yes, he misses, but Royce is there, Mark Williams is there, Brooks is there. They all go to hunt, and they hunt in packs. Royce gets the board, he passes it to Booker for an open three, and the game cuts down to a 5-point lead. Aggressive Allen was my nickname for him last night. Once again putting on a display by blowing by Monk and getting an and one. But the intent was there. You could see that Jordan Ott was speaking to them. You could see that Jordan Ott was telling them, you know what, this was a very bad first half. Let's fix up. And they did. And another thing to note, just by playing aggressive, just by fighting hard, the crowd were feeding off this energy. And you got the players going too. They appreciate that nitty-gritty stuff that maybe we haven't seen in the past 2 years, and the fans were fully behind it, and it did help swing the momentum towards the Suns' favour. Colin here, he initiates the attack. He gets a screen from Mark where he rolls into the paint. He goes by Monk, and Allen now fades to the perimeter for an open three. Ellis and Eubanks don't pick up the fade in Allen because, I mean, there's a lack of communication and no one really knows who to pick up, which leads to Westbrook from the corner coming over to help. Allen sells him, he plays it to Royce in the corner, and we know Royce can hit those threes, but just the plays, just the reads from Colin, the execution from Allen to find the pass, and Royce hitting the three is something that we saw the entire second half that we did not see once during the first half. And Royce in this game, he kind of went under the radar, and in this instance here, Mark Williams got the praise, and rightfully so, but just look how well he does to fight over the screen from Eubanks, which means he can follow Schroeder. Williams delays just to make sure the passing lane isn't open to Eubanks. Then he blocks Dennis and takes his. So things just tick for the Suns. And when it came to the stretch, Devin Booker took over. And this is why I believe in Booker as a point guard. Make sure to check out my last video. But not many players can see this play before it even happens. But he attacks. As he attacks, he knows that he's going to be drawing 2 or 3 players in. He knows that Allen is in the corner. He goes all the way, acting like he's going to go for a layup. He plays a nice pass to Allen, and Allen is there for the open three. And the Suns were just much better with hitting their shots in the second half. And when it came to the end of the game, Booker got the ball at the elbow against Schroeder. He went back to his midi and he called game. It was a massive win for the Suns. Everyone played a big part. Dunn and Brooks are our defensive anchors and they need respect. If they aren't setting the tone, it's going to be very hard for the other players to look lively and to fight on the defensive end. If they don't start off strong, we might have to rely on Williams, because Williams was getting it done on both ends of the floor. But Dunn and Brooks are our anchors. Allen and Royce with big buckets, especially in a team where we lack scorers. Grayson Allen is going to be massive this year and we need him to be getting buckets. And with Devin Booker, it was a poor night from him. It probably wasn't the best night. It probably wasn't a very, very bad night, but he could have done better. He had a few sloppy turnovers. He probably could have been a bit more aggressive with his mid-range. He really wanted to go all the way to, all the way to the rim and somehow get a layup, or at times he could have slowed it down and maybe got a midi, but he still ended it off with 31 points in a night where he wasn't the greatest. And yes, the Kings have players out, but it was a good show of the good bits that we're going to see from the Suns and the ugly bits that we're going to see from the Suns, because the Suns is not a complete roster, and obviously we still are missing Jalen Green, which I am very excited for him to come back for. But it was a massive win. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like. If you are a Suns fan, or if you're just an NBA fan in general, make sure to subscribe and comment down your thoughts below on the NBA in general. There's a lot of games. The games are coming thick and fast. And if you are a Suns fan, make sure to comment down below. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.